Hello everyone, my name is Hitesh and I welcome you all to second day of Elevate 21. Yesterday we had a very good start. We got very good response from all our viewers and our quiz had a lot of response and we didn't expect that kind of we didn't expect that kind of response. So thank you everyone for that. Today is our second day. I'll give you a brief about Elevate. So Elevate is a 5-day event which started yesterday and it goes till 31st of August. We have 5 quizzes relating to stock market and investing plus we have 10 keynote sessions. Yesterday we had 2 sessions which went very well. Today our first session will be hosted by a personality who's actually looked upon as role model nowadays. He actually needs no introduction. He has been in the field of fintech startup over his whole span after finishing his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He has got 2 startups. One is Finshots, which provides daily updates, financial education in a 3-minute blogging system. And the second one is Ditto Insurance. I welcome Pawan Kumar Rai. He's the co-founder of both the firms. I leave the podium to you. It's very good to have you, and we are looking forward to hearing you, Pawan.
Yeah. Thank you, Tesh. Thanks for the warm welcome. It's really great for me to partner and offering me this opportunity to speak at Elevate. So yeah, personally, when it comes to stock market trading and a lot of this financial market stuff, I think it personally hit me very closely because whatever I feel right now, I see it's majorly because of I think stocks market and the interest in stock market and trading. I don't think even the founding this startup and all would have been possible if I would have not ventured into stock trading way back in 2014-15. So yeah, lot many. There has been a lot of lesson that I learned over the past 6-7 years. Right now also people talk about a lot of trading strategies, investment strategies, and everybody wants to grow money, right? So that's what I want to highlight upon, right? How the journey of like becoming a trader, right, eventually led me to decide that actually becoming a trader might not be a good idea and suddenly drifting towards entrepreneurship. So yeah, I think that part and experiences would be really valuable for anyone who is listening to this session. So yeah, I started trading in 2014-15 around when I got for my first job, my first salary slip. Of course, I was having a lot of money and I was thinking, what to do? This is my first salary. I should start something. And the first thing I did was open a demat account. So opening a demat, and that I remember that time my account was with ICICI Direct. I quickly called my RM and he just opened a demat account. And yeah, from the next day I downloaded the trading platform Direct. Some name was there. I forgot the name for Direct at that time, and just started buying these stocks, selling these stocks randomly. No idea, just like that. I remember I downloaded. I started reading the Economic Times, reading about what is in the news of stock, Infosys, and all. And yeah, I also downloaded a ticker where which whatever stock I hold, which what goes up, what goes down. I used to check every day. So in a matter of I think 10-15 days, it became an addiction to me. Every day checking ticker. Okay, I got 10%, 15%, and the feeling like why would I mean even keep my money in the bank account, savings account, and FD when you can earn 50% in even a month if you're like if you could invest in the right way. So that idea was, I like that part of it. You can earn money sitting at home if you know just trading, and it was a pretty wise idea. I understand at that time, and I had no clue that trading could be so tough. Though I read a lot of things. 99% of traders actually lose money. Only 1% of them make. But yeah, I was deeply into it. I started reading Economic Times, seeing. But yeah, of course, I was just losing money at that time. Nothing else happened. Then initially, I analyzed few things. Okay, why am I losing money? So I just saw, okay, why ICICI Direct is charging so much of brokerage. So the first thing I did at that time was change my broker. I changed to some Master Capital, which charges 10 rupees, not even 20, 10 rupees per trading. At that time in 2015. So at that time, when I was working, I was not happy with my job, not at all. It was first job, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to work. This is not something I wanted. Every day, same thing again and again. All I was doing was training few people or just and this was more like a plant job. Now, how you expect a plant job is a shift like job, right? So yeah, I mean, it didn't go well with me, and I decided to leave the job at that time. And I thought, "Okay, let's focus full time on trading. I will learn few things." And I had a lot of decent saving. I won't say a lot, but I had decent saving. And I thought, if I keep on doing my work hand on hand and then focus on trading also, I'm going to lose. So let's focus only on trading. That was the first thought. I have now some saving. I will start trading now. We'll start with whatever I have. I have something in 4 5 months, whatever I have learned. And the funny thing, what happened is at that time I was like, getting rich quickly is something like it hits your mind quickly. And of course, when you leave your job and start doing that thing, you feel like you want to make money every day, right? And whatever saving I had, of course, you can't take big positions. Then there thing that I ought to know, intraday leverage, right? And yeah, those leverage look very classy, right? You can buy crores of volumes, and yeah, so I thought, why not? One day in September 2015, I remember I saw that Infosys is going to give a result. Okay, result will be very good. I had open in the morning 9:07 market opens. In the 9:15 around, I took a position intraday leverage, full kind of. I purchased the stock at that time 10 15 times whatever was the leverage. Gone. The result came. Infosys cracked my account. Half of my saving gone in one day. Everything gone. So that was a big lesson. I mean, I was completely shocked about that after that. What has just happened, right? Of course, I mean, someday you make money, but there was no strategy. There was nothing you were thinking. You were just thinking, okay, news. But that was a point where I think few learning came. That first learning that came in my mind at that time, whatever, if you react by news, right, you're never going to make money in the market. That was the first learning, that don't follow the news if you're actually trading, right? I mean, a lot of noise is there. If you, especially at that point of time, I remember, even now I think that we will find a lot of platforms which will sell, buy this, sell that. I mean, of course, there might be few good finance advisors who analyze the stocks, but if you go at that time and ask me, I used to see, okay, Economic Times, Money Control asking buy, sell this broker Prabhudas Leeladhar, Sher Khan saying buy this. And yeah, I used to follow that, and all everything was a crap. Everything was a shit. So first learning happened on that 2015. No, don't need to follow market. This thing news. Focus on first your own analysis. Your own analyze the stocks, things, right? Even whatever technical is there. If you're going to react by news, you are the late. You are almost late, because there are a lot of people who have already the news. It's discounted in the market. By the time you see, a very interesting insight that I had at that time was, if you see some stock repeatedly coming in the news, you have to actually be red alert that there is something wrong going to happen with the stock. There has been so many examples in past 6 7 years. I have seen either you take Yes Bank or you take some Avanti Feeds. If there was some lot of media houses pushing about the stock, there is something wrong about it. Of course, exceptions are there, but that was the first thing. If there are a lot of noise, better not to touch those stocks. So yeah, I stopped completely following all those news channels. I picked my own stock which were not in the news, and yeah, slowly first started learning. I mean, those things intraday and all. I understood that there is no point in touching all those intraday and everything. You can never. I mean, I met few people who used to do intraday. They were doing successfully, but to be honest, I mean, not everyone's like made for that. I mean, it's very. I mean, what I realized from trading is like it's very stressful. If you don't have a strategy in place, every night you will go and think about your position. There, it can't be a good sleep. So, but yeah, I mean, even after that, I almost lost half of my savings, and then I started this thing learning about market. I stopped for a while investing because I don't have enough, not had enough capital. Yeah, I started learning about these things, what went wrong. Like, and as a trader, you always, I mean, not as a trader, as a person, whenever you lost your money, you will feel like, okay, I want to get back my money. And if you have like 100% capital, if it's 50%, getting capital and getting gain, it becomes like even more tough thing. And it is a vicious cycle, I would say. I mean, in trading, it's a vicious cycle. And second thing is you double down your positions. That's even more vicious. So, I mean, I think these are the few things where I thought emotions control was one of the first thing that had to learn when you are doing trading. You're not to be greedy. You don't have to be very logical. Okay, I have to cut my position this time. Stop loss should be clearly defined. I think when I also started, the first discipline thing that if I executed was first thing was first if you enter any trade, either is a long term, short term, you can tell it positional trade, right? You have to write it why you're taking the trade and what when you're going to exit it. You have to first write it. That was the first discipline thing that I did. First I have to write why I am taking. Okay, its result is coming. I am expecting this, and if it goes below that, I will exit that. No emotions. You have to clearly write that in a notepad. I think a lot of other this thing is big traders. If you read, they used to maintain that ledger of the kind of stuff where they clearly write the logic, right? That is a first step. And of course, you can say technicals. I do believed in 200 moving averages all the time back then. I personally believed on those averages. And yeah, I mean, slowly things improved. Of course, I was not as stupid as what I was at that time. But yeah, I mean, I was parallelly preparing for my CAT examination. And yeah, after a while in 2016, I got into IMA. And there also, if you ask me, I mean, of course, the MBA culture is pretty different as compared to. I mean, it's not. It's more like any business school, right? I mean, it's more like you have to get a job. Okay, it's like posh job kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, first year they went like that, but I had this addiction of stock market back then. I mean, it just hit you. I mean, you can't. It hits you, it's very difficult to. You might have heard a lot of people who close their account after they face the loss. I didn't do that because that feeling was why I lost. I wanted to know at least, right? Why it happened, right? And how could I make money? Not there are all most of people who are making money. What else need to be done? Yeah, I was following a lot of books. I read a lot of books, Market Wizard, One Up on Wall Street, and to be honest, what majorly I felt the main learning happens in the market itself. Book doesn't. Book might give you some ideas, but the real learning, like theoretical learning, like if I went with the perception in my college that okay, my finance teacher will teach me stock market and all, but it's a completely different thing. It's that it doesn't relate to market at all. So yeah, I mean, I was there. I was thinking maybe I could land up on a stock trading desk job by Bank of America or some big bank. But yeah, I never got a shortlist from them. So there I started thinking. I mean, what else job and then marketing job I was landing upon, and I personally had no interest. Right? I mean, what to do with the marketing stuff? I don't like it. Trading is something very interesting. I should stay with financial market. So I mean, but yeah, still interned with a company called Vodafone at that time,
Pawan, just one
2016.
question before you move on. Did it ever cross your mind to join a prop desk, prop trading firm, because you would fulfill the dream of being a trader? Plus, the money is not yours because you are using
Yeah.
firm's money to trade. Plus, you get hefty bonuses
Yes,
and commissions out of it.
yes, I wanted, but that's what it never crossed the thing. The prop desk thing never crossed. If I would have got the opportunity, I would have. But the flow of event was like that. It never came into my picture. This thing. So what you're saying, I started doing that. I was just coming to it.
Okay.
So after joining the Vodafone, I met few senior managers, vice presidents over there during that time, and I had an interaction about stocks. They were very interested, of course. So yeah, we decided. One of my senior vice president was there. I told him, Ki, there is enough scope to make money in the market if we could analyze properly and we could maintain a good account, right, where we can take the trade properly, right? So I had the knowledge, a lot of knowledge that I built from past years about good stocks at least. what are the good stocks. And I mean, some positional trades definitely makes a lot of money if you take it very logically. Of course, I mean, there might be events, for example, things are going to good, but US market crashes, right? And of course, the repercussions is there on your Indian market as well. And so even that news came, but it doesn't have any impact on the stock. It completely nullified. So all those things definitely is there. But yeah, I met that guy, and we decided to start a kind of a joint account, 25-30 lakhs, and trade on that and share the profit. That's how we started the first thing. So I decided ki let's start trading on the joint account, and let's see how we can do it. Maybe it's a good thing. At least I'm doing something which I have more interest. So I think after that, I think I decided doing that. But yeah, I mean, it was still not an idea to do full time because I was taking it as a learning first, right? Okay, it's still, but yeah, of course, with much more knowledge and clarity now. I'm not still a novice at that time taking trades without stop losses. And yeah, I mean, at that time, options trading definitely was a good place where you have certain degree of safety when you know where to exit, and leverage is also this thing. So yeah, I mean, started selling options, which is a very common stuff, right? I mean, we started making a lot of money once first month, 2 months, right? 3 months. We made a lot of money in that joint account, and one day I think there was a stock called Dr. Reddy's. Okay, this is a story of August 2017. So what happened with that stock is the results were coming stellar at that time, and everywhere, again the same mistake. We were also very bullish about Dr. Reddy and all, but we had taken an open position on the Dr. Reddy, and I think we were call options. Yeah, we were having the call this thing, and the result came completely opposite, which nobody was expecting. And yeah, almost to like 1 month gain gone in one day, completely out. Again, the same thing. So at that point of time, I thought, yeah, this is so stressful. My 1 month hard work is gone in one day. I mean, what's the point of doing it? Even let's say if I had a stop loss, of course, but still it hurts, right? Now 15 days I traded, I made some sum of X amount. Now 15 days may I in one day I lost rest past 7-8 days of profit. Now I have to again work hard to get that back, and then over the work. So it for me it was more like I started thinking, I mean, it's not something that good. It's stressful, right? It's not something you can bank upon, right? You can make a career out of it, and it's too stressful. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, one day I had one of my friend told me, "Hey, Pawan, you're so interested in financial market. Can we take a project, right? I mean, not a financial market project. Can we just take a project under a professor?" And I thought, okay, let's do it on a stock market, some project, some demat penetration and all. Let's do that project. And yeah, that project may we were basically thinking how we can actually improve India's demat penetration, right? How more and more people can trade, right? There are a lot of do's and don'ts there. Because I was so well versed with the market, so I at least knew what problems I faced, and if somebody wants to trade first, he has to understand and what are the challenges to understand the market. Because I personal challenges what I faced, any newbie will face the same kind of problem, right? So that was the first thing I decided. I chalked out some plan. Ki maybe we should make it more interesting, more creative. At least it should not be here. If I'm going to economic times, or if I'm going to money control, at least give me some knowledge to understand. If I want to get knowledge, I would find there are target prices written here. Why would I focus on knowledge? I would say, okay, I will directly buy the targets and will make money, and half of them will lose there only. Because once you lose, you won't trust that platform at all. So there was an urgent need in India to build a platform where at least people can learn stocks or at least market financial market. There was no platform who can at least talk in a way where a common person can understand. It's very difficult to understand those terminologies and all. It's in for stock markets, so half of them, or even half is too less. I would say 90% of them are scamsters. Right now, I'm not getting calls from Indore, but I do know people who would have got calls from Indore. right? So there are so many scamsters.
I've got
So
that.
nobody even so many scamsters are there. So there was no legit platform here. To learn to invest, there is nothing. Except and the advisory what you are getting was suboptimal. And if you personally ask me, I would have tried tons of them. I was ready to take risk. I paid them and got the service and understood this is just a scam. They are just doing wasting my time. So back then the realization was very clear. There has to be some platform who can at least guide people. There are no such platforms, and yeah. So slowly I thought, if you really want to build a career or build a business, why not build something around trading of stocks rather than doing trading of stocks, right? Back then, Robinhood was booming a lot in US. There also, I saw, okay, this guy is Baiju Bhatt and Vladimir are doing such a good work, yeah, and one of them is an Indian. Why can't we do something in India as well, where we can become a very good platform to for people to guide and invest? So yeah, started deciding ki I thought ki maybe we could become a broker or sub broker, where that idea started pumping in my mind, like ki, why not let's start some startup. Before that, I was not even sure about taking a startup and all, but yeah, after that, I felt ki let's do a startup, and I think it took me almost 5 to 10 minutes to decide ki whether I really want to sit for placements or I want to start something of this sort. So yeah, I deleted all my resumes and then I decided let's focus on this because I was sure ki we had a scholarship where you can at least get some stipend if you go for entrepreneurial stuff and all. So I thought ki I could get that scholarship and maybe I can start this startup because anyways back then what it looks to me was like again I was see I do feel ki some of the crazy things you can only do when you're stubborn. Okay, I was a stubborn, and sometimes it's good to be a stubborn. That's okay. I also thought he will raise funds. That's okay. We'll get money and will become a good broker or something, right? So yeah, that was a thought process at that time, and yeah, then started searching for people who will join. Let's join me. We'll do some startup, and that's how it started. We'll simplify stock market. We'll simplify stock market, right? And yeah, my friends. I met few my friends who were my dorm mates, batchmates, and of course they were not aware about stock market at all. They didn't have any demat accounts, but they could relate to the idea because they could face understand the problem. They themselves were not able to understand what these channels were telling you. It's very hard to understand stock market and all, which when you read Money Control Economic Time, what language they speak, it is not even consumable. So there was a point, but yeah, after that, idea was clear, but becoming a broker is a big challenge. Stock broker is not easy. Now you can see there are so many big brokers, there are so many compliance, regulatory requirements, these lines, NSC, and all. Yeah, and nobody was funding. Who funds? And that's what we realized in the first year. The first few months, nobody funds you just because you're from IIM or this thing. Nobody funds you. That is the first learning that happened. And then we dropped the idea of becoming a stockbroker and all because, of course, there was not feasible for us. We didn't have any competitive advantage, neither we have any experience. But the only thing that we could have done, we realized we can write good pieces at least about stock simplify. We can write good news thing, right? Maybe going forward, we can what do you say, build our products. That's what we realized. Let's start with at least simplifying these news, these items which are there, which we can understand. So if you ask me, these products which you see right now, Finshots and all, is actually a product which was made for us. And that is how we consume information, and that's how we scale in the market because it could relate to our views, right? So yeah, we met a lot of people in this Ahmedabad and a lot of brokers, stock brokers. We started analyzing IPOs. Still, at that time, we launched Finception.in. If you go to Finception, you will find a lot of good articles about stocks. Very well, golden pieces. I don't see any article close to that in any of our countries' media houses. Nobody publishes that golden article for business. And yeah, after almost spending 1 year just writing those stuffs, we again ended up same place where nobody was funding, because at the end you're just writing stuff, right? And there's no clear business model. If you're writing a weekly newsletter or weekly article, why would somebody fund you? But yeah, we always wanted fund for build products. We never had a fund, so how we could build products, right? So it was again a chicken and egg problem. So yeah, I mean, luckily, I mean, we faced the issue of tech person as well, which one of our co-founders' brother who joined us from South Korea helped us in solving that, because how we will build product, none of us know coding. Me, Shreya, Dhanu, none of us know any coding. So yeah, Lokesh was my co-founder's brother, Bhanu's brother, and he started coding for us. But again, I mean, you can code, but as long as nobody is funding you full-fledged money, how you survive? I mean, it's a huge opportunity because there are a lot of loans and all, right? So yeah, I mean, we were almost at the closure junction in 2019. We were almost broke, I would say. April 2019. At that point of time, luckily, one video got viral. There was one video called Jet Airways, Rise and Fall of Jet Airways. You can see it on YouTube. That video went viral all over India, right? It was a bar chart moving up and down, right? So that video was so viral, so it got into, hey, I really like what you guys are doing, Finception. We want to fund you guys if you're interested, right? So I mean, yeah, I mean, we thought, okay, let's take it. If somebody is funding after a while, nobody's funded you till now. Why to say no? Yeah, we had a meeting in Bangalore, and yeah, they funded us first time, 4 crores in 2019. Then we launched Finshots. What you now see has become a big virality in financial news space. So idea was very simple. People don't want to consume long articles. I mean, do people don't have attention span time? That attention time is not there. So 3 minutes is enough for people. And if you, a lot of people ask me, hey, why you not give more articles? If you give people more articles, they will get bored. So to make them feel always interested, we kept it to always minimum one. And this was very counterintuitive strategy, because at the point where you want more growth, more shareability, you push more content. But if you strike that path, pushing more content, you actually dilute your quality. So we never did that, and we stick to one article a day, and that worked for us. I mean, we at Finshots was awarded the best app of the year in 2020, 4.9 rating in Google, top podcast in India now, and apart from this, it has been a really great 500,000 users. So I mean, yeah, it worked for us because I think we, in the 1 year of struggle, we realized what can work, at least in the finance space. People like stories. I mean, if you tell them finance, like if you ask my friends when they started also, they couldn't consume stock market by the way media houses were publishing it. They could understand only by the help of books and stories, which was published in the books. So that's how the idea came. We should put good stories, and yeah, I mean, those stories are easy to consume. People could relate to it, right? And yeah, that's work for Finshots. And after that, as I said, right, we wanted always to become a product company, right? So we wanted to build financial planners, insurance as well. But yeah, I mean, insurance was the most complicated, and that's how we started Ditto Insurance, where we simplify any complex thing. Insurance has a lot of complexity. These policies and all, it's very tough to understand. There are so footnotes, this thing are there. It's very hard to get an idea about what is in there, what is not covered. If you ask me, for 3 4 months I was doing as a business of Ditto, I was myself confused. It's even now sometime there are some clauses change. I had to ask twice and thrice, oh, what does that mean and why is not covered? Underwriting and all. I mean, there are a lot of stuff which is very difficult. So a good quality advice is minimal in our country, where you are assured that okay, nobody will spam you, right? So that is how we wanted to solve genuine problems without spamming people. So that was the idea, and yeah, I mean, that's how it's actually boiled down to this. Yeah, and to be honest, as a person, if you ask me, I always love doing something which can give you freedom, some thrill and freedom, right? Trading does, entrepreneurship too definitely gives you. Every day is a struggle, definitely. and it gives you thrill for the next day. You have to be always pumped up, right? So yeah, and stock market was definitely one place. So that's how, I mean, it boiled down. It started like that, and I personally, till now, if you ask me, the major learning that I would like to share to everyone who trades or even invests in stock market, if you trade daily, also, I'm pretty sure. I mean, what might be an exception. There are few good, really good traders, but the amount of money that you can generate by staying invested in few good stocks and trading, you would always long term investment will always outpace the daily trading, because half of the cost you will lose in the trading charges and all, right? So investment would always, now I also see the same stock I would have not traded, just invested, I would have made much more money. So that's what I realized, and I slowly, completely slow down my trading. One, two, three trades a day, year. That's it. No more trade. 4 or 5 trades a year. That's it. I never take. Some days, some on the budget days, some on few news occasions. That's it. No more trading. 5, 6 trades a year. That's it. If it allows, even less than that. I don't trade very often now. So yeah, I mean that's how things pan out for me. And yeah, I mean that's it from my side. Yeah. Hitesh, I can't hear you. Hitesh, I can't hear you.
I said, I mean, it was very informative to hear you because, like, there were quite a few questions coming in between. I didn't want to stop the flow, but I've got quite a few questions lined up for you right now, so you have to answer most of them because
Sure, sure, sure.
it's from our viewers. So, the first question which came when you were talking about your trading time, like the active trader. So, the question which came is like, how do you handle a stressful or a loss-making day? Like, what was the routine after the market got closed, kind of thing?
I mean, you know what? I mean, I quickly went for a walk, long walk. Right? In fact, I didn't trade for 1 or 2 days, because what has happened at that time? You just get into that vicious cycle to earn back that money, right? And during that, you overtrade. So after the loss making days, I quickly took a break, and in the profit making days, I used to party a lot. So yeah, that was I every the days I made a lakh plus profit. I had a party. But yeah, the days that I made loss, I don't touch for 2 3 days. I let this to silence for a while. I mean,
So, it wasn't like loss-making day party harder.
yeah.
So the next question which is we got is like something about the emotional stock. Every one of us have a favorite stock that which you can't let go easily. Like, do you have something like that, an emotional stock that this is my favorite stock? I mean, this is my favorite kind of stock.
Yeah, back then
Could be a
I
sector
had a
also.
lot of. Sorry.
Could be a sector also. Like the sector is like your favorite sector kind of.
Yeah, I mean, not sector wise. See, I had few good stocks even before. If you talk about 2018, there were company called Fine Organics. Then there were companies like AMC, HDFC AMC, right? At that time, it became a very good this thing for me. Even now, IRCTC and all, if you ask me, Deepak Nitrite and all these stocks, yeah, then you become emotional for those stocks. But yeah, I mean, now if you ask me, I have learned to become more and more emotionless, because I think in trading, if you don't develop all those personalities, it's very hard for you to become a good trader. I don't. I really tell you, it's very hard to become a good trader if you just keep on reacting on every situation. It's very hard. Hitesh, again, I miss your voice.
The next question which came is like again, if you were to be doing day trading or short-term trading, do you have any specific tools, indicators, or any kind of charting method which you used?
Yeah, I mean, see, it's a very straightforward thing, right? I mean, these indicators are built on those things, which volumes and charts this thing on. But when you start trading, you automatically get the feel that intuition comes itself. No, so these are small indicators that I use at that time.
Next question again came like like a lot of people look at you as a role model. Like this is something which we want to aspire to be. Like Pawan is the person we are looking forward to. Would you give any suggestion, advice, anyone who's looking to start his entrepreneurial journey that these are don'ts, do's, or maybe I mean, what is that you should recommend?
I mean, see, it's a very lonely journey, and better to have someone with whom you do it. You share your emotions, and this is actually more. What do you say? I mean, every day is a challenge, and the if you ask me how what helped me, I'm sharing a very important insight. Fitness has been a very important thing for me, which kept me motivated every day. It's not easy to, in fact, hit gym every day, and but it once you develop that habit, it helps you as an entrepreneur. Personally, it's helping me. I keep motivated every time. It helps me keeping my motivated every time, and the only thing that matters in as an entrepreneur is to not to lose hope, I think, and focus on the long term. So I think if you could stay motivated by just having some perseverance, you can crack a lot of things. It's okay to be not smart, but it's not okay to be not thinking long term and not be perseverance enough.
That makes sense because if you because eventually you start as an individual, then you grow as a team. That's what I think you're trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And just a question which actually has come up a couple of times. What is your actually what are you looking in future regarding the Fitto like Ditto and Finshots? What are your plans, bigger plans? I'm not going to ask you to reveal the plans, but what's your overall broader view about the future of these products?
I mean, see, anything that we launch, we personally feel that we have to solve a very specific problem, and in a very, it's okay not to solve all of these things, but solving one thing, but in a great way. Right? That is our motto. If we are doing it something in a smaller scale, also we should not do it in just good way. It should be in a great way. We should make sure that we are doing it at 100%. So with Ditto and Finchor, the only motto is still behind whatever something related to finance, whichever is complex, right? There are people facing problem. Maybe our simplification, we can add value to our customer. This is a question that I used to get. Hey Pawan, what is the business model of Finshort? What is the business model of Finception? Day one, you pitch anyone, they will come with first with tell me the business model, then we will talk. So that time we used to discuss if you are adding value to your customers, business model will come in place. But first focus on adding some value because that is a process. If you are not focused on the process and just thinking about result, you are not in the right direction.
Right, makes sense, right? Because I just want to ask the final questions, final question for the session. There's a question like the thing always comes that insurance is a product, stock market is a different product. What do you see is a connection, or is there a connection or no connection between two of them?
I mean, insurance is a product, I would say, where anyways, I mean, it's a safeguarding thing, right? I mean, you can relate. I mean, I could have an insurance for traders losing money, right? I mean, in some way or the other, where you can charge premium for that, right? It might happen. See, wherever the probability of happening is less, you can insure that thing, right? So that is related only. See, one product is where you actually think of your growth of money, and one is where you actually safeguard yourself from losing whatever you have earned, right? So I mean, it's pretty. For example, you earn crore from stock market and got a some big this thing, let's say cancer or all, you got to lose everything what you have earned, yeah, in past 5 6 years. So of course, I mean, see, financial planning should start with these both of the things, where you safeguard your risks first, and then also think about earning more or growing your wealth. It can't be standalone.
True, true, true. And finally, any last sort of advice to our young millennials, because that is actually a major part of our audience and participants for the event. Any advice or any tip for our participants which you want to share?
Uh, Advice as in related to stock market or
Could be in
something
general, like
related
someone
to
who wants
life.
to be in stock market, or could be someone who wants to start his career in some way or the other. I mean, something which is like more general advice.
Yeah, see, one very small advice that worked for me. I mean, if you ask me personally, I mean, I met a lot of people in 20s. They are quite risk averse and thinking about in a very structured way how their parents have told them and all. Right, it's okay. It's not a bad thing, I would say. But if you ask me, the major learning came from where I actually spent my money to gain experiences. So let's not seclude yourself and just about saving and money and thinking about it. Spend it to gain more experiences. Experiences are the biggest assets in life, which would going forward help you to change directions, create something, right? But if without experiences, you are nothing. So I think gaining experiences, whatever, take risk. By taking risk or not taking risk doesn't matter. But try to be, what do you say? It should not be my next month should be same what was this month. At least I should keep on iterating things. So I think that's the first advice that I give to myself also. Learn new things. Keep learning.
Right. Just one final question. This person is also a winner for yesterday's quiz. He's asking that if I want to be starting something and if I want to find a co-founder, how do I go about finding a someone who has a similar vision as me?
If you ask me, it was very. See, I mean, I think a lot many people I have met. It's stroke of luck also. If you ask me, there was certain trades that I found a co-founder. No, nothing. I wanted somebody who just joined me, right? And it just happened. The fusion happened, right? So, I mean, if you ask me now to find another co-founder, it would be very hard for me. It's very, even if I say, because see, I'll tell you a very honest thing that I realized for as a person, it hits your ego when somebody says no to what you are actually saying, right? But those no's are very important, which should be done for the circumstance. It should not be done to hurt anyone's ego. That's how you can build a team and grow as a person and grow as a company. So finding such people where they should be able to say no, because if you find somebody who always say yes to whatever you say, it's very hard, my friend, to do anything out of the box. It's very hard. That's what the MBA also does, right? What do they do? They bring together 4 5 people in a group and push them to do group work, right? Why they do it? So that multiple ideas comes and confront each other, right? To come up with a better solution. So yeah, it's a stroke of luck for me, I would say. I don't know how what strategy it is. No.
Thank you so much, Pawan, for taking out time and giving your valuable time on such a busy schedule of yours. I'm
No.
sure our viewers learned a lot of it, and we thank you again for coming on our platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
just before logging off, all our viewers, our next session starts at 3 p.m. So please stay tuned, and because the next session will be more interesting. Thank you so much, Pawan, and we're logging you off now. Thank you.